probably the greatest insight into a cardiac arrest that I have ever seen. Wigan footballer, November 2021, suffers a cardiac arrest in training. He's resuscitated 8 months later. He's playing. He explains the whole thing to us. We're going to watch it together. I'm going to explain it all to you. If you like the video, hit like, subscribe. Lego.
So basically that's a defibrillator and the scar what they put it on. I've got a wire that comes across, goes up to my heart, and this is that's the monitor that.
This is wild, man.
Obviously sends all the information back to the doctor, and this is what obviously kicks in if anything happens. Yep. So basically when your heart reminds you of heart stops, it just sends a shock straight into your heart and puts it back in a normal beat basically. So on holding and stuff, it's obviously strange to have, and obviously it doesn't look the best, but like you say, if it's going to save your life, who cares?
Yeah, well explained, Charlie. Basically, he's got a battery pack to monitor his heart. It's so weird though, so weird. I can't believe he plays with that. They must have to like tape it up or something before the games. Although all the evidence suggests that they don't easily get damaged, but we'll see. Odd, but fascinating.
Obviously the scariest day of my life. Just training as normal with the lads, just a normal day. And then all of a sudden I've woke up on the floor looking up and with 5 staff over me not knowing what's happened. I knew something was like serious because the last thing I remember was walking over to the manager and saying I'm going to collapse, but couldn't get my words out. So
that's a really, really interesting segment. The bit where he says he went up to the manager, he said he wasn't feeling right, couldn't get his words out. Very, very likely in those few seconds, that's when the heart's rhythm changed into a deadly rhythm. Very likely into something we call ventricular fibrillation. So basically, normally your heart is pumping in nice rhythmic motion, pumping blood around the body. But that basically switches and your heart starts going and can't pump effectively. He's got a few seconds of consciousness, then cardiac arrest. So that was probably the big warning.
He was going to tell me about a pulled groin or something, or he was feeling a little bit of his hamstring tightness. And then, the events that took place after that was mind-blowing. A lot of people on the day did some fantastic things. I was the fortunate or not so fortunate one to be there, on cue right at the time, and was able, with the information at hand, to start the CPR and to start the challenge itself to make sure Charlie was still with us.
At first I thought they were just mucking around because it's a football club and we just had the training a couple of weeks before, and I thought they were just all mucking around, and I got over there.
Okay, just a separate point. I don't know what the banter at Wigan is very intense. If they're bantering about cardiac arrest, but okay, I digress.
Charlie's lying on his back, and then I looked down and suddenly realised what was going on. It was tough. So suddenly see Charlie lying there in that state, and then myself and the medical team took over the resuscitation from the manager who'd started it, and then sort of we carried on. And 3 or 4 minutes later, he came back round, which thank God.
Incredible that the manager started the resuscitation. I think you have to emphasize how incredible and how important that is. That probably was very key in not only saving the player's life, but saving his functions, because you're losing oxygenation to the brain. So you need early chest compressions, early CPR. That's the main reason. Get blood flowing to the brain so your brain tissue doesn't die. The contribution of the manager here cannot be understated. Truly, truly incredible.
It's one of them out-of-body experiences. I'd suggest, fortunately, we had real in-depth training 2-3 weeks before it with all the staff, and thankfully you kind of recall or call upon your experiences and your professionalism within them moments, and thankfully we all did the right thing. Shout
out to Wigan Athletic Football Club. I've got to put the Birdman respect on their name. Teaching the whole staff CPR literally saved a life. It works. More clubs should do it if they don't already. More companies should do it, and we've seen it. It saves lives.
Chances of having a cardiac arrest out of hospital is 8%, so you can see how lucky I am. Like I say, if it wasn't for the manager and the doctor, I wouldn't be here now, and obviously for me and my family, they're my heroes.
Right, again, another interesting soundbite by Charlie there. Chances of surviving a out of hospital cardiac arrest is 8%. However, FIFA did a recent study, I'll put it up there, 85% in football. 85% in football, in professional football obviously. Various reasons for that, but basically what it shows is that the preparation really, really makes a difference. It's the early defibrillation, it's the early CPR, it's the number of trained people that are around, football training grounds and matches that save lives. So to go from 8% to 85%, that's pretty impressive, and that's probably just due to very, very early defibrillation. Probably one of the safest places in the world to have a heart attack, if you're going to have one, in a football training ground or on a football pitch.
Well, I had some episodes, I'd say probably 6 weeks, 5 weeks before. I was going dizzy in training, and we played Wimbledon away, and I think I had a spell for like 6-7 seconds where I was really, really dizzy. I told the doctor after the game what happened, and he said, like, we're going to have to pull you out the next game, which was obviously, I didn't want to do that because I felt fine. It was just, I thought it was maybe a lack of electrolyte or something.
To be fair to him, that's an awkward one. That is an awkward one. The player comes up to you, said, I felt dizzy for 6 or 7 seconds throughout the whole game. Obviously completed the game. Dizziness has loads of reasons for it. I wouldn't necessarily straight away think, oh, he's got a heart problem. So I'd probably err on the side of caution, obviously with, you know, what we all know. But it's a difficult one, to be fair. Loads and loads of reasons, including, dehydration, low blood sugar, whatever.
And then I actually went into the manager's office and said, look, I want to actually play the game, and if something happens, I'll sign a form saying it's on me, which looking back now is a silly thing to do.
See what I mean? This is what we've got to deal with players. Imagine being told, listen, bro, until we're sure your heart works, you can't play. He's like, nah, I'm all right to play. No, seriously, until we know your heart works, you can't play. He goes, oh, go straight to the gaffer, I can play. That's the thing. A lot of people say, oh, footballers don't care and this, that and the other. A lot of them do care. They love to play. To the extent where he was literally like, I will sign a form that if I have something catastrophic happen on the pitch or in training, it's my fault. And guess what happened? It did happen. That is the extent they want to play. That's what club doctors got to deal with.
What was going through your mind on that journey to the hospital, and then once you arrived there?
Yeah, obviously absolutely devastated. Obviously when I got told it was a cardiac arrest, the first thing that runs through your mind is, well, that's my football career finished. I was in hospital
football first thing he thinks of.
3 procedures, got my defibrillator put in, and a monitor in my chest. So it was a lot to deal with, really.
What was going through your mind,
interesting.
given the fact that you'd been on the pitch that day at White Hart Lane 10 years ago when Fabrice Muamba had a cardiac arrest?
So this doctor, he's been through it before. Fabrice Muamba, he was there, he was pitch side, he was helping with the resuscitation efforts. Now, to have 2 pitch side cardiac arrests take place in your career as a club doctor. Listen, I'm not a statistician, but that is incredibly unfortunate and unlikely. I don't want to say Dr. Tobin's unlucky, because equally he's 2 for 2. He's got a 100% record bringing them back. So you either want him on pitch side or you don't want him on pitch side. That's incredible. Incredible the poise that he's showed in both situations, clearly, and obviously the successful results that he's had. Incredible. So salute.
Yeah, it was again the same with Fabrice. Like, once it had all started and happened, I was just so focused on doing what I needed to do that I wasn't really thought about it afterwards that it hit me. And the same with Charlie. When you're in hospital and you're doing a resuscitation, the patients, you don't know them, you don't know their families, you haven't spent time with them. This is Charlie. I've travelled with him to games, we've shared coffees, we've bantered and joked. It's not just another patient. This is a friend, a colleague, a work friend. So it really hits you emotionally.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with what the doctor said that as well. When you are in these clubs, you are so tight. To be fair, each, coaching staff, physiotherapy staff, all have close relationships with the players in different ways. But obviously, as the doctor, often you hear things they don't tell other people. Things to do with you probably know all the history of their family, mum, dad, obviously all the sensitive issues that they confer to you confidentially, patient-doctor relationship and all that. So you see them every day, you spend a lot of time with them. So the emotional connection can grow quite strong. And then to see that person collapse, it's kind of, as he said, like a friend, a colleague, to see them collapse dead, essentially, and having to go through all that is a big emotional toil. I couldn't imagine it. I don't wish that upon any doctor. I don't wish that upon myself. And yeah, just again, really good insight.
It's been an incredible journey, and I've took a lot of inspiration from Ericsson. Obviously he's been through a lot as well.
Ericsson.
Come back and play how he's played is obviously unbelievable.
Trendsetter.
I remember being on holiday and watching it all unfold with Ericsson and thinking, you've got to be so unlucky for that to happen, and then